If you're looking to pick yourself up some coins for Foot 21, then make sure to click my link in the description, go to U7Buy, and make sure you use my code Birdie at checkout to get 5% off of your order. Hey guys, it's Scott here, and welcome to today's episode of I Rate Your Teams. Today we're going to be looking at your most impressive and interesting starter hybrid teams. So not focusing on one specific league or anything like that, we're going to be looking at the ones that have brought multiple leagues and nations together. So if you do enjoy this one, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below, subscribe if you're new, ready for FIFA 21 content coming every single day. This is just the beginning. These squads have all been taken from my Discord, which you can find linked in the description, as well as the links to my Twitter and Instagram. Follow me on all socials and everything like that if you want to get involved in more videos such as this one. But without further ado, let's get into today's teams. So we did put a post out in our Discord saying that I'll be taking some squads for the video today. So this is why you need to be following on all my channels so that you can be around when I do take these squads. This one is purely going to be from Discord. So we're going to start off with this last one that came in just before I put my message, which is from Peter. And again, today we are looking at hybrids. So make sure that you join the Discord and all the other ones, because you can have discussions about anything, whether you are going to help each other out with squads or whether you're just going to talk about football whilst the games are going on, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot to do on there. So first things first. First squad. We saw this link the other day, and that was pretty nice. Koundé's in so many teams. Vaklit should be okay. Mazraoui and Anthony is a decent link on the right. Alex Teixeira. I like it, right? I like this team. I think the one thing you got to worry about is Diego Carlos being pretty expensive, because his card is going to be very, very good and very sought after at the start of the year. So there's a chance that he's going to come in and be very expensive, and so you might have to look elsewhere if you can potentially get it to work with chemistry. I'm not sure if it's possible, but that would be my only worry with this one. Next up, we've got Pim saying Max is at PSV now, so he is going to get links over here. So today we've got a bit of the French League, a bit of the Bundesliga, a bit of the Eredivisie, and a hyperlink from the Premier League as well. Now, a couple of worries in here are Richarlison and Allen potentially being a lot of coins. We've talked about them a lot in the previous episodes. And then the same with Klosterman, just because of his pace. The rest shouldn't be too bad. Ikono, I believe, got a weak foot downgrade. I think he was double 4-star before, although maybe I'm making that up. So he shouldn't be too expensive. Same with Neres. Promes, I really don't know. He could be one of those that, because he's in a different league, is actually cheaper than he should be. Or people realise that his stats are pretty damn good and they'll go with him and his price will be really expensive. So it's sort of hit and miss for me. I think you're taking multiple risks on players that may potentially be very expensive. And then you're playing it safer in other areas, which I think is wise to do. So 50-50 on whether I like it or not. Next, we're going to go with Dex teams. So let's see what we've got going on here. We got, okay, again, Tyson and Ismaili are coming into multiple teams. I think a lot of people are going to see that they have this hyperlink, and because they're from a different league, they're going to think that they're going to be very, very cheap. The one worry is if everyone has that same thought, that they may be more expensive than they should be. I think one risk with this duo, and the same with other ones that are similar around the world, is that they are most likely going to be in SBC solutions for advanced SBCs and stuff like that, where you need a lot of chem and you need hyperlinks. That's the one worrying thing. So be wary. You might want to pick these guys up before they potentially appear on Footbin for SBCs. Tonali Rebic, Muriel Barella, Hatabur, now as a right mid. Not bad. Kappa, Unai, Rulli, and Inigo Martinez. I like it. Again, I think that you've got, and then what? Maybe this is another option for your backside here, or maybe that's what you'd upgrade to first things first. I like it. Again, I don't think that you've gone with players that are going to be outrageously expensive. These guys will probably have a little bit of cost at the start because they're double 4-star with decent stats, but they're not going to be ridiculous. So this is a very nice starter team and probably similar to the kind of hybrid that I'd be looking at making myself. Next up we have Nat, who says Dion 6K and Verratti on 10 after position change. Now, I've had a little look at this, and I thought I'd put it in the video because you sent it in when I requested teams. But I just don't really understand. Unless you're starting in a different formation and somehow getting all these players that are on low chem on full chem, I don't really understand it. Next up is Umar, who is sending in this team. So let's have a little look. Not going to zoom in for some reason. But we've got Neres, Promes, Haps, multiple Premier League players, including Richarlison, again, risky one. And then Torgan Hazard, Delaney, and Mounier. I hope that these guys are affordable. However, there is a chance that they're going to cost a lot, right? Even though Delaney may only be an 81 rated and stuff like that, he has very, very well-rounded stats, and there's a chance that he's going to have a bit of cost to him. So I would look at potential options in case this is the kind of team that you want to go for, but then it turns out that someone costs a bit more than you expected. I would have backup plans in place. Other than that, though, if this team was actually affordable, it's pretty damn good. Next up, we've got a Robo team. Cheap starter squad hybrid. 90% set on this being my starter team. Taking off Fernandez or Texera for Joseph Martinez. Okay. Well, let's have a little look at it then, shall we? So, Tyson, again, Paulinho, Texera, Talisca, Fernando, Salvio, Montiel. Interesting. That's a nice one. I actually hadn't seen Salvio's card until now, so that's pretty good. This guy will be an interesting centre-back. Rulli, Inigo Martinez, and Yuri Bergice. And then subbing on Josef Martinez, and then a couple of other subs or options there. I like this because it should be cheap. Like, these are the kind of hybrids at the start that are very, very solid, because a lot of people won't delve into, like, the Argentinian league and stuff like that. So, whilst their stats are as good as some Premier League players, they'll cost like 10% of the price. So I'm very interested now in this kind of link up, and I'm probably going to explore that myself, to be honest with you. I'm going to rob your team. Next is Ben. Might change Lima and Upamecano to a Kanji and Chan if they cost too much. Nice. Thinking ahead. I like it. So again, the Chinese league here, but then we've got Rafinha and Traore over here. Upamecano, Pavlenka, Klosterman, Lima, Carrasco, and Renan Lodi. Again, I think you've pretty much summed it up. If any of these players end up costing a bit too much, then swap them out. But if they end up being reasonably priced, this is going to be a 6-starter team. Really, really nice. And I think it should work pretty well for you. Even in multiple formations, this team could work. So whilst we get used to the meta and figuring out everything that works in FIFA 21, I think this is a pretty damn good start, assuming that these guys don't end up costing a bit too much. But we'll have to wait and see. Jack has come in with a team next, and this is an interesting one. Okay, so you got a hyperlink in here at Porto. Hyperlink through the middle from the French league. Prem on the right-hand side going into Davinson Sanchez, and then... wow, Colombian links. I like this a lot because this is very different. And I feel like, again, because you're delving into different leagues, especially this left-hand side of your team, this should be very, very affordable. And a lot of people will be looking elsewhere. For example, Diaz's stats are very, very similar to Greenwood, although he's got way more pace. And yet he'll probably cost a fraction of the price because of his links. So this is the kind of route that I was really hoping people were going to go down when they sent in these teams today. You've not disappointed me. Following on from that, we've got Cuzzo's team, which is a 4-2-3-1, he says here. So I'm going to assume Brozovic and Herrera as CDMs. Perisic, Kolarov, Bartra. So mainly just a 2-league hybrid here with a little bit of Serie A on the left-hand side and then the remainder being mainly La Liga. Now, I'd be interested to see how much someone like Rodrigo is going to cost. The rest of this shouldn't be too bad. I mean, Erdegaard has a 2-star weak foot, which should bring his price down. Otherwise, he'd be definitely way out of a starter player budget. But I think that 2-star weak foot should make him a little bit more reasonably priced. Hector Herrera is a very, very well-rounded player. Brozovic is always good at the start of FIFA. I'm a tiny bit worried for you that the Inter players may have a little bit of cost, especially... Perisic is always a fantastic starter squad player in FIFA every single year. He is a baller. So I hope that it isn't too much for you. You may need to downgrade a couple of players if these guys end up costing a little bit too much, but maybe this will be like your first team after you've spent a week grinding a little bit. Next is Noel, whose starter team is a lot of the Premier League, but then some Serie A creeping on the right-hand side. Right, initial thoughts. Fred might be expensive, Richarlison will be expensive, Adama will be hella expensive, and Felipe Anderson will be expensive. I think this is too much for a starter team, and you need to lower your expectations just a little bit. However, I do like this link in here. This is really, really nice, this right-hand side. Although you could probably go for someone slightly higher rated that probably won't cost too much, that will be easier to link, therefore not restricting yourself to using like this guy, for example, at right centre-back. We've got SM29 saying 4-1-2-1-2 in-game, so we'll try and figure out who's going to go where. So we've got Tyson, Lozano and Rebic as the front three. Tyson and his Marley in here again, by the way. We've then got Ligue 1 and the Serie A. So we're going to assume Kessie at CDM, Zielinski and Bruno as centre mids. And then I don't know which one of these you're going to play at cam. Maybe Tyson because he has the best passing. I'm not sure. But again, like some of these teams that we've seen today, I think this one should be okay. You're going to have a few players, because of the limited players in their position in their league, like Malqui, he may cost more than you're expecting. Even though he doesn't have 90 pace and he doesn't have an 84 rated card, because there aren't loads and loads of players that fit the mould of that French Serie A right back that links into both the league and a Great Nation links, he may cost a bit more than you expect, and those are the sort of hurdles that you've got to try and avoid. There's a chance that he might be really cheap, and I might be wrong about that specific card, but just to warn you about links that are very, very good nations and very good leagues, they can sometimes be a bit of a hiccup in terms of being able to afford them. So we have 3 teams left to look at today. The first one, as Mars linked the squad builder instead of the actual team, unfortunately. We've got Tom's team coming in here. Now this is okay, interesting. So someone else that's gone into the Chinese league here. We've got Hulk, although he doesn't have his long hair on this card for some reason. Paulinho, Emerson, Gabriel Paulista, David Sararia. We've got Mario Hermoso, Renan Lodi is an interesting one that could be a little expensive. Gabriel. And then Everton. Now, apparently there's a rumour that he may be going somewhere else, so just watch out for that in case he doesn't exist when the game comes out, but hopefully he'll stay for your sake. This actually looks like a decent little card, and this is a beautiful little hyperlink. And then Promise and Marlon through the middle. Again, we've spoken about this before. The fact that Promes may be expensive. Now, you're not actually getting the hyperlink here, which I only just realised. It's a strong link, so you are both on 6 chem. I don't know if there's any kind of formation that would fix that for you. Probably not, to be honest. So you're risking a little bit by not starting everyone on 10 chem. And I don't know if that's wise to do at the very start of the year, but it's your decision. Marlon could potentially be expensive at the start purely because he's very, very quick and gets good strong links to people like Promes. That's it. Not because his stats are outrageous, but because people love pace at the start of FIFA. But other than that, I think you're looking pretty good here. And this is a nice little hybrid. Pretty decent starter team. Penultimate team is going to come in from Haze. And this is going to be El Shaarawy, yet another Chinese League hybrid. Renato Augusto, Jonathan Vieira, Bakambu, Nerino, and then Portu, who isn't really getting a lot of love, even though he's now got an 83 rated card. So nice to see. Arias, Murillo, Ospina, Romagnoli, and Hernandez. Now, this ain't going to work. Right? For a starter team, this will not work. You got to rework these two. The rest, perfectly fine. Right? Absolutely perfect. You should be okay. They shouldn't be too expensive. This guy, if you don't remember last year how expensive someone like Ferland Mendy was at the start of the year, you're going to see the same thing with Theo Hernandez, and he's probably going to cost an absolute bomb. So you've got to rethink this part. Other than that, I think you've got a really nice team here. And then the last team for today's video. Again, thank you very much anyone that has sent anything in. If you have, enjoyed the video, make sure you thumb it up and subscribe if you want to see more. We've got a team takedown, the last one of the year, coming out later today as well, as we end it off with this. Nathan Redmond, Mason Mount, Johnny, Cheap, I like it, Alexander Isaac, Porto, Marino, Mascarell, and then we've got DeMarcos, Inigo Martinez, Alex Ramiro, and Bartra. I like it. It's not the most hybridy of hybrids, but it works, and I think that you've chosen players that shouldn't cost too much either. So I believe that this is a pretty decent starter team and should be relatively affordable. So thank you very much to everyone that sent teams in. I massively appreciate you today. Now, if you do want to feature in more episodes of this in the future, then make sure you send your teams in and make sure that you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and also make sure that you are part of the Discord as well. But that is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, thumb it up, subscribe, join the new member program that we've got going underway, and I will see you guys for another video later today. Goodbye.